Tomorrow, the Supreme Court renders its verdict on the constitutionality of the Building Bridges constitutional amendment push by President Uhuru Kenyatta and Azimio presidential flag-bearer Raila Odinga. The train to Canaan by way of referendum was stopped in its tracks after the High Court and Court of Appeal both declared it a usurpation of the people's power. Olive Burrows reminds us just what is at stake.
Supreme Court verdict on the constitutionality of the Building Bridges constitutional amendment push could either drive the final nail in its coffin or infuse into it the breath of life. On the 20th of August last year, the Court of Appeal upheld the High Court's finding that the process was flawed, bringing the race to a referendum to a screeching halt. And after retiring to debate on the matter 2 months ago, the highest court in the land will deliver its verdict on Thursday. But will it be a little too late with the general election 4 months away?
There will be no possibility of 70 new constituencies being voted for in the general elections. There will be no possibility of having Prime Minister position available during this period of running for the general election. But if BBI was to succeed, it would affect politicians, because politicians will start saying, we will create this.
We won't see the formation of the 70 new constituencies that were proposed. And for me, that is a form of last-minute gerrymandering, and is a form, actually, if you're talking about keeping the peace, that would be a very unpeaceable process.
But it's not just the predetermination of 70 new constituencies in the BBI constitutional amendment bill that is up for scrutiny. The Supreme Court will also decide if the Constitution possesses a basic structure that can only be amended once the requirements for civic education, public participation, county assembly debate, and ultimately a referendum have been met. Can civil court proceedings indeed be instituted against the president for contravening the Constitution? Can the president initiate changes to the Constitution? And was the IEBC quorate when it verified signatures in support of a referendum? And did it have the requisite legal framework in place?
Even if the court agrees with a few and rejects a few, BBI is dead.
Events have overtaken the BBI amendment bill, but it does not mean that it can't be implemented after the 9th of August. It will just depend on who has appetite to implement it.
But as it so happens, it won't just be the BBI and President Uhuru Kenyatta on trial at Thursday's Supreme Court sitting. So will the judges.
There are more political nuances when it comes to issues of the Supreme Court of the Republic of Kenya. So I am not in any way, shape or form saying that the Supreme Court is influenced by politics, but we have to be aware of the fact that nuances do exist. We would be naive to imagine that they would be completely immune to the vagaries of political will.
Will the decision that will be made behind these walls on Thursday be the final word on the BBI, or with the impending general election, a case of a battle won but a war far from over? Olive Burrows, NTV.